Hey, welcome back everyone. Good evening. How's it going? All right, tonight I'm going to try to finish up the canvas that I've got here. Now, I went ahead and named this Burgundy Smoke because that's sort of what I had in my mind. The colors that I had chosen, this really dark burgundy, and then the two tones of gray, this cinder rose, the way that they had matched up in my mind really was giving me this kind of smoky vibe. And although it turned out a little bit brighter than I initially wanted, it has darkened quite a bit, and I'm actually okay with that. I really do enjoy it now. It's been staring me in the face for the last couple of days, so it's easy to say it's grown on me. Let's just put it that way. So I want to get this finished up. I haven't mixed any paint yet. I had to kind of go through some things, looking for some ideas of what to put here, and I think I finally landed on something. Now I've just got to figure out kind of what color I wanted, and I think I'm gonna go with the dark gray, which is this one here, because I don't have a whole lot of it, and so that would be nice around the edge. And then I might just do just a mix of the burgundy on its own and the cinder rose on its own. Okay, I'm gonna get this shook up here. You know what? Oh, I am forgetting one thing. Where did my cloth go? You know what, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be right back. Give me 2 quick shakes. I always have a rag to wipe my tools off with, and apparently I left it on the sink. I'll be right back. 1 sec. That's better. Okay, thanks. All right. That over here. Now I'm all wet. All right, so let's get this one in here. This dark gray is an apple barrel gray, so I am going to be adding in medium to this one. It's a little thick. This is the medium that I use, the gloss fluid. I knew that was going to be loud, sorry. About 2 drops. That'll get that mixed in. Now what I have planned for this essentially is I'm going to work in another little pattern of swooshes here, but I'm not going to do these ones. I feel like I'm kind of overdoing those lately. I've been doing so many tea lights and stuff, and I keep going back to the good old pattern, right? So I want to kind of break out of that a little bit. Finish this one up with something a little different. Okay, so that fluid medium loosened that up. So I think we're okay with that, and then I'll just add the others on my palette here in a moment, because I really want to just dive into this one. First thing I want to do is I need to get a landing dot here. Okay, and I'm going to use just a 1.5 for that. Okay. It's going to be really small. Essentially, the only reason I'm doing a landing dot is because it acts as a spacer. So instead of me trying to eyeball every single one of these and make sure that I've got the perfect space between the tip of this one and the bottom of the next, since I don't have an extra grid line in here, I have these what I call little landing dots. Right. So that's what the bigger one is going to sit on. And that bigger one I decided will probably be a 4. Okay. Now tonight I went back to my Lazy Susan and away from the lifted canvas that I had had for the first part. So I just decided that I'm gonna deal with a little bit of reflection since I have the canvas. Not only is it kind of naturally a little bit reflective, I also have that glaze on in the background, and although it looks great in the end product, yeah, these lights do me no favor with it, but I'll deal with it. I'll live. In the first one, I felt like I was learning how to walk again. Like, doing it up in a lot of ways was very comfortable, but because I couldn't move it easily, I felt like I was working with two left hands, so just not good. All right, let's get some Cinder Rose on here. Now this is the folk art, and again, this one is a bit thick. You know, really it is no wonder that everyone loves the Deco Art Americana. It's just perfect right out of the bottle. I know that there are other paints that are higher quality, but you know, it's just easy. And especially when it comes to doing something just for relaxation, you don't want to be messing around with stuff sometimes. I've had some very long days recently, and yeah, it's nice just to be able to sit down and pour something out of a bottle. One less little tiny thing to worry about. All right, let me see here. I think a 1.5 should be fine for what I'm gonna do. Let's see. The 0.5 I think actually will work better because I don't want it to go all the way through. Okay, so I'm taking the tool that I normally use for swooshes. This is a 0.5 stylus. And then I'm gonna go into the Cinder Rose here. And then on this dot, I'm gonna go maybe just slightly above the midline. And I'm gonna bring a swoosh down here. Okay. Looks pretty small. We're gonna build on that though. Pardon me. Just very, very light little strokes. Just try to do it all in one continuous motion. Smaller swooshes are always so much easier than the bigger ones to do with the stylus too. So if you've never really done them before, maybe it's best to start really small. They don't require as much thought or as much paint. Okay. All right, so there's that one. I'm gonna go probably up to, let's see, this is a 1.5. Probably a 2. I think I'll probably just go with the 2. I'm gonna stick with that dark gray. Let me see if I can find a good spot here. And I'm gonna start this dot just above the other one. Just make sure I'm dipping into the gray and not the pink. That wouldn't be so great. Go back around this way. And again, just try to do it all in one motion. That one wasn't all that great, but all right. And then I need one more along the outside here. And you guessed it, we're gonna go just along the outside of this one if I can. Oops, now I need to get a little bit more of the burgundy, or actually some burgundy. Forgot that I hadn't put any in there at all in the palette. Okay. Oops. Definitely not enough paint on that one. Now it does come in really, really bright, but it dries really nice and dark. You can see below how much darker that is once it dries. Oh. Hopefully I'm not blocking too much here. So just nice and light, and then I'm getting really, really a lot of paint on here. And then after this, we're going to add another element to it on the top. Okay, so again, this one's a 3. Seemed like there was just something in my paint that wasn't picking up, so. So we have this last element that I want to add in here. Oops. Nope. My hand slipped and I touched too soon and then I messed that one up. Let's get that off of there. Easy fix. All right, let me go back in with this tool and just touch that one up here. Okay. All right, I'm gonna let that one dry. Let's do the other side first. Oh yeah, I was saying, so I'm gonna do this one. There's gonna be a little bit of a swoosh, a little prick that comes out of this one, and that's that essentially. I'll take a look at it again, and then we're going to do all the top dots. So this one was actually a lot closer to finished than I thought. And then once it is all finished, I'll take and go over and make sure that I've got all of the lines removed. And again, those are the charcoal pencil, white charcoal, not chalk. So it comes off beautifully with just water. And since it was varnish, since I've got a glaze over the canvas, that will wipe off really nicely. The paint's not going to go anywhere. And then I'm going to give it probably at least 24 hours after. Then I'll go ahead and, well, I guess it depends on the weather. I would go ahead and spray it with another layer of the glaze. But that's really dependent on the weather. If I get another really nice day, then I'll be able to do that outdoors. But the spray that I have, the Krylon, the glaze, is so strong. I cannot do that in the house, period. Like, it just, you can't do it indoors. So I'll have to kind of see what the weather's like, and if the weather doesn't hold, then I will just go ahead and put the Duraclear. I'll go ahead and just gloss varnish it and leave it at that. Let's see, now this was originally a 4. I think that should be okay. I'm going to come back to the 0.5 swoosh tool again. But we're going to do the different swoosh again, and we're going to do a 2-tool method here. And let's go with the cinder. So I don't have a ton of it. All right, so let's see. About there, I guess. That'll work. So we're sticking with a 4. So just the standard swoosh and pulling down, taking the midline and bringing it to touch the bottom here. And since these are small swooshes, I don't need to go back in for the most part and fill in any space. So I just want to make sure that it looks like a teardrop. Just kind of smooth out these edges here, just so that you can't tell that it was originally a dot. I guess that's the easiest way to look at that. So it just looks like one smooth teardrop. I may have enough room to do something else next to this. I'm kind of looking around at the other little swooshes here. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, I'll look once more once I'm finished. If I have a whole lot of extra space, it would be nice to get one more little swoosh maybe on either side or something like that to kind of tidy it up. I don't know if it necessarily needs it. If you have an opinion one way or another, let me know. Just yell. I've got a minute here before I finish this. Let's see. Let's get that wiped off. Get a quick drink. Clearing my throat in front of you, sorry. Okay. The other, well, let's see. If I add anything, I basically want to ensure that I have the same amount of distance for all of them so that none of them end up looking out of place. I mean, I kind of do, but it's very small space. I think we could potentially just leave it like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. All right, so let's get out the silver. And there's always that odd chance that I could change my mind again and come back, so. Getting to the end of my bottle of silver. my favorite. Okay, I'm going to take a 4. We're going to go back here in the middle. And especially on these, let's make sure I'm not touching anything. Okay, so I'm going to put a dot right at the bottom of each of these here. So this is a 4. And more or less, I want to stick to putting the silver on top of the dark colors. I want to stick to the burgundy and maybe the dark gray as to where I want to add the accents in. I'm keeping the same size 4. Okay. At least for the top and the bottom. Oops. Probably opt for something much smaller for the left and the right of these ones. Let's not miss one, right? Okay, maybe a 2. Sort of looks like a little flower hanging out here. Now I do probably want to add a little bit more silver somewhere in the middle. I don't want to get too overwhelming with it. But let me see here. Oh, wait, that was one thing I needed to fix, wasn't it? Let me do that while I see it and I'm thinking about it. I think those were the ones. All right, yeah, that'll settle. I guess I can put a dot here. I think that'll look fine on each of those. I might end up doing that one a 4 too. Yeah. So we've got a bunch of 4s. One of the other things that I could do here on the outside to kind of bring it in a little bit more is I'm going to take and make one more little swoosh. Let's try this first. Let's see what it looks like. See if I like it. So I'm just going to stay with the 0.5. So the little smallest here. And let's start, I don't know, about here, I guess. Somewhere maybe across from here. Probably. Yeah, we do that. Let's move it down. It's the little tiny details that make the difference. So I'm okay spending a little bit of time kind of putting some little things in, but I just, like I said, I don't want it to be too overwhelming. Yes, no, maybe. Let me turn it the right side up. Move that back up, sorry. I think it was kind of out of view for a second there. I'm hoping this gives it just a little tiny bit of sparkle. It doesn't look too cheesy. All right. Normally what I would do would also be pulling a small line here of micro dots just along these dark swooshes there. I could possibly try that too. So this other end is a 1.5. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, sorry. I could be doing it with the other tool, but just had this one in hand, so. And it's working out to 6 locked dots per. For some reason that one is a little crooked, huh? That one decided to lean a little, so let's see. Try not to get into any more silver paint. I dunked myself somewhere. Don't know where. I guess it's a good sign. If I can't see it right offhand, then I don't have a big smudge running across it somewhere. I'm going to pause for just a second because I see a little space here. So I'm just pulling up the gray paint that I use and I'm just dipping it in the lid real quick. And just do a really quick touch up there. They're pretty much invisible when you get the full thing done. So I like to try to catch them when I'm doing this kind of stuff, rather than be like, oh, I'm going to get that at the end. I'll just do all of the touch-ups at the end because I won't see it.